Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back. So, we have one more day now till the live stream reveal for patch 3.27 Keepers of the Flame League. I'm pretty excited about it. So, I thought I would make a short video about what you can expect from this channel moving on into the new league. So throughout this video, I'll be showcasing a bunch of gameplay of the build that I'm planning on playing in the upcoming league. This is not a new build, this is a build that I've been playing for a while now. As a matter of fact, I've started pretty much every league in the past few years with this build, so I obviously quite enjoy it. I also have quite a few videos out on this build, including a detailed build guide that I made for the Mercenary League. I also have a few week 1 progression videos for several leagues that you can check out to see how this build performs early, especially in the first days of the league. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of info out on this build. Obviously, I will be making a follow-up video for the build guide after tomorrow's live stream reveal, and once we also have the patch notes and know exactly what is going to be changing in the new league. Of course, this does mean that there's a slight possibility that I will have to scrap the whole build because of big changes, but I think that's very unlikely. At most, I think this will see some collateral nerfs. I am expecting some nerfs. For example, I'm expecting them to nerf the damage reduction part of Flesh and Stone, things like that, but not direct nerfs. And I mean, it's a kind of a 50-50 chance. We might see nerfs, we might see buffs. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, like I said, there's a slight possibility that I will have to scrap the whole build and start from zero, but it is what it is. This is Path of Exile, this is why we love it, so we'll just have to see. So the gameplay that you're about to see throughout this video is basically just so you can make a slight idea about how this build feels and performs at different stages of the game, and of course different gear levels. You will see 3 different characters that I currently have through 3 different leagues. One of them is from the Mercenary League, one of them is in Pohx's private league, and one of them is in Tuna's private league. They just so happen to have different gear levels, so I think it's a great opportunity for you to see, like I said, how this build performs in different situations. But there isn't really anything special about the content that they are running, just some maps that they happen to have on them, so don't expect too much from this. Also, I would like to apologize about the loop spam. I was running some loot filter that I was using for the campaign runs that I was doing when I filmed this, and for some reason I didn't realize to switch back to my regular filter, so it's going to be quite spammy. And I also added a couple of Uber kills just because I always get asked if this build can also kill Ubers, and the answer is yes, it can definitely kill all the Ubers if you have good gear. Even though it's not designed for this, it can do pretty well in Ubers if you have decent gear, but then again, most builds can probably kill the Ubers if you pour enough currency in them, so it's not that big of a flex. It's definitely not an unkillable build. It dies occasionally to Ubers if you're not familiar with the mechanics, or in certain tier 17s it can also die occasionally. I usually build this tanky enough to survive wave 15 simulacrums, and any tankiness you can get after that is just like a bonus, cherry on top. Yeah, it's like I said, it's fairly tanky, but definitely not unkillable, something to keep in mind. So I imagine that you don't really want to watch 30 minutes of pretty much the same thing, so I'll be adding some timestamps below so that you can go directly to whatever part you feel is more important to you. But before you do that, keep in mind that, like I said before, this showcases 3 different characters. The first of which is from the Mercenaries League. This is like the high budget version. The overall value for the gear on this character is probably a few hundred divines. It's hard to say exactly because most of it was acquired within the first 2 weeks of the league. Have no idea what it's worth now, but as you might expect from this type of an investment, at this stage it can do everything in the game. Things like Uber bosses, tier 17 maps, risk scarabs, delirium maps, whatever you want, it can do them. It does die occasionally, but it can pretty much run anything in the game. Uh, Still insane investment, so I guess you can be the judge of it. The second one is the character I have in Pohx's league. This is more of a medium investment build. I would say a fair estimate is probably around 20 divines or so, kind of hard to say. At this stage you can probably run Deathless tier wave 15 simulacrums. You can run most tier 17 maps, but you will struggle with really juiced ones. Still probably the highest ratio for investment to performance at this level. Yeah, the third one is the one in Tuna's league, and this is basically just your starter setup. Most of the gear is worth 1 chaos per piece. I think the only exception here is the Instrumentas, which might be a bit expensive and they won, but you can just replace that for a different amulet. It's not that big of a deal. I used this character to get my first two void stones, and I think it's a pretty fair estimate to think that you can achieve this gear level within the first day of the league without any kind of issue. So if this feels like a build that you might be interested in playing at some point, or maybe you're just curious to see my daily progression within the first week of the upcoming league, then go ahead, drop a follow, hit the notification bell for the upcoming updates, and as always, if you have any type of questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the show.
right of divinity.
Greetings. Keep your life to your own.